Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Reading can be such a fun activity, but when your kids start to lose interest, it's time to talk with our next guest. Welcome Tierney Shorter from Make Reading Fun to the table. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Yes, let's help with the kids.
Let's do it, because Stacy finds reading very enjoyable and fun.
It, yes.
And I do too, but I don't take the time. But I want that to translate to my grandkids now. To take this. All my kids love to read though, so I must have done something right.
You must have.
You did.
Right?
You didn't know it.
I didn't know
you
it.
did.
Tell us a little bit about yourself first, Tier.
So my name is Tierney Shorter. I used to be a 6th grade teacher, pre-mom life.
Okay.
I have always had a huge interest in early childhood development. Literacy especially was my favorite thing to teach. When you get to 6th grade, a lot of 6th graders, I went in like gung-ho, like I can't wait to teach them about reading, and 6th graders are like, reading's dumb.
Excited.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
My maiden name was Miss Diamond, so they'd be like, Miss Diamond, reading's stupid. I hate reading. Reading's boring.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my goodness, we've done something wrong, right? Like you said, somewhere along the way, we take the fun out of reading.
Right.
And so as a 6th grade teacher, I kind of made that my goal of, if I teach these kids nothing else, I want to instill a love for reading, and I want to show them that it's fun and that it's all about finding the right book.
Yes.
And don't they say something that there's a connection? If you're a good reader, you're probably good at your other skills in school, like math or etc.
Yes. Because if you think about it, like there is reading in science, there's reading in math, there's reading in history. Like you are reading
understand it
all the time. And so if you're behind on reading, generally as you move on, you're behind on everything. And
in the summer break, parents need to pretty much stay on top of it. Get books, go to the library. So how can you help them? Like, what are your suggestions?
Yes. So this is actually my very favorite thing to talk about, because my Instagram handle is Make Reading Fun, because obviously we need to learn how to make reading fun. Because like I was saying, somewhere along the line we make it a chore, right? Like from infant to we'll say 6th grade, we lose the fun of it. And so I say, you don't hate reading, you just haven't found the right book yet.
I like that.
So I think the first thing parents can do is to help their children find books they enjoy. So if you have a child who's really into sports, like get some sports magazines, find a good sports article. If you have a child who's into graphic novels, that's huge right now. Take them to the library, have them pick out a graphic novel that they like, because that is...
Okay, that's interesting, because my daughter is bringing home these graphic novels. And I'm like, but that's not reading.
Yes, it is.
But okay, so help me with that. I'm like, it's a picture book.
Yes.
She's like, I love these.
I'm like, because they do, because graphic novels aren't intimidating. There's not a lot of words on the page.
Okay.
They're fun. Kids like funny things, right?
Yes.
And as parents, sometimes we're like, that is lame. Like, you need a story. An actual rich
that's
story.
me
You've got to
entirely.
read 300 pages.
Kind of.
for it to
I'm
know.
like, why are we not reading Anne of Green Gables? Because why are you looking at this picture book?
But it can be overwhelming, right?
So I need educated that way. So if it is a new trend.
Yes, it is. And it's because all their friends are doing it.
Okay.
It's fun.
Okay.
And like Angie said, it's not intimidating. Like, if you think about it, they can finish a book in a couple hours, sometimes less, some of the graphic novels.
Okay, that's a good point.
And it's still reading. Like, even if we're just reading stop signs, if we're just reading like the newspaper, not really, I think it's reading. So if they're excited about it, don't take that away from them.
Okay, that is good to know.
That would be my number one goal, is to get them in things they're enjoying. So she's enjoying graphic novels.
Okay.
Get her more graphic novels.
Okay.
And I have lists of graphic novels that I could.
Fantastic.
she'd probably
Even better.
love.
Yes. Yay.
It's like a total 6th grade. I feel like.
Yes. Totally. That's
That's
exactly where we're transitioning.
And boys and
yes.
girls can kind of connect.
Yes.
With that sort of thing.
Yes. And audiobooks too. Like for 6th graders, audiobooks are a great way in the summer because we're driving around a lot, we're traveling, to bring your family together by listening to a good book, because they're still getting comprehension skills, they're still having to listen to the story, and they're actually hearing the story the way it's supposed to be read, so it will help their fluency. There's so many skills. That
I
they're
love
learning.
hearing that, because
I love
sometimes we
hearing
think
that
they have
too.
to be reading, but
Yes.
when I'm listening, you have to pay attention. You're like using your imagination. It's kind of like back in the 50s, like when it was just radio
Yes.
before TV and the family would gather and
around.
listen, and you used your imagination.
Yeah, I was
you
just
kind
saying
of have
that
to
out
tune out
loud
the
right
world
now.
almost even more because you're not reading it, but you're like imagining it. Yeah.
You're like in a new world, and then it's fun.
It is. Well, on the way to Lake Powell, you guys, we do this almost every year. We pick a book and then we listen to it all the way down to Lake Powell. Then when we get to Lake Powell, it's downloaded, and every night we'll like listen to it together. So it counts as a book reading.
You are instilling that love in your kids, and it does. It really does. Like everything counts. We as parents and adults, we want to be like, oh, but that doesn't count. Oh, but that doesn't count. It totally counts. Like if they are in a book reading the pages, 100%.
I mean, they could even go
counts.
through the pantry and read food labels and.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
Yes.
They're
whatever
loving
they're-
cooking and then do that. What are some of your favorites? What have you brought for us?
Gosh. I was literally like, guys, because I have 4 kids.
Or
so I was
how
like,
do we
"Bring
do
favorites."
this? Or yeah. Give us some of your
this.
tips and tricks.
So this is the thing that I love about reading is I always tell parents, your kids are never too old for picture books. So, and books are a great way to start hard conversations. So, like this is one of my favorite books. We all know that like pornography is a huge problem in our world. The good pictures, bad pictures.
Oh, wow.
This breaks it down for kids on their level. It like gives you prompts as a parent, because sometimes as parents, we don't really know how to start that conversation.
We don't even know what to say.
No, how to bring it up casually.
You look at porn.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, oh, I know
Yeah, like, wait, what?
that.
Yes. So this is one example of like a great way a book can start a really hard conversation
Okay.
at their level and start a conversation about it. Not just like do you do that, but hey, this is kind of what it is. This is what it look like. In this book, I mean, since we're on that subject, it talks about like, if you see it, you're not a bad person. This is a really great resource.
Okay.
But in books, that's like one of the first things that I think about if I'm like, okay, one of my kids is having a hard time being kind, or one of my kids is being disrespectful. I always go try to find a picture book, because we can relate every lesson in life back to it. And that's what they teach you in the education program. That's why teachers start so many lessons with books, even math lessons and science lessons, because it gives the kids a place to go back
Genius. Love it.
to. Now you know.
I know,
Now
right?
you know. Which brings me to this book. So this is called Trying. If you buy any book this year, it should be this book.
It's
No matter-
beautiful.
It's
I'm like,
Beautiful.
I know.
Write it
I'm
down,
like
write it
writing all
down.
these.
It's all about a little boy who sees these big, beautiful sculptures, and he goes and asks the sculptor, like, how do I build that? Or how did you do that? And he's kind of intimidated by it, but the really long story short, the sculptor tells him, you just have to start. You have to try. And it talks all about how a lot of times it's just starting, and it's not already knowing how to do it. It's trying, right? And to keep trying and fail and try and fail and try.
Life lesson.
Amazing.
Huge.
Yes.
The beginning
I
of
know.
like
Done.
lots of things that we have to do in life.
Yes.
I'm already
That's beautiful.
getting intrigued
Yes.
with this
Yes.
one.
Yes. So
I am enough.
we all know that kids struggle, like thinking if they are enough, right? We have a big problem right now with that. And books are a great way to show kids that they are enough, no matter like, this is a great one for different colored skin, different activities you enjoy doing.
Okay.
It is just such a positive book, and it literally brings me to tears when I read it to
you
my
read it?
kids every time.
I just love the title.
I
mean,
love the title and her sweet little face, because you just, with your children, it's true. It's like, just because you didn't win doesn't mean you didn't try your best and that you were good enough at it.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
I love that.
This is perfect for vacation.
What should Danny do? We're all going on vacation,
Yes.
right? This book is 9 stories in one, and you literally choose the ending based off of his good choices and bad choices.
Oh, I love those books.
Your grandkids need
Yes,
it.
they
What
would love
age
it.
group is this one?
So I would say you could start at 3 and go up to, 10 to 12. Like, kids just naturally, we think they're not going to pick up picture books because they're older. They will.
Okay.
My kids love What Should Danny Do? And it like totally teaches them about right and wrong choices just through the story, and they see the consequences that come.
great.
So this is one of my very favorites. I talk a lot about teaching about inclusion through books. I have a son who has Down syndrome, and this one kind of talks about what if, I'll just show you one page
Every so
really
often
quickly.
a zebra.
Yeah, so like what if a bear loved the winter? And what if a cow loved lemonade? And then it talks about what a beautiful world that would be. right? Even though it's a little different.
Yep.
And then
So sweet.
I'm thinking of my gunner for this one. So what
boys
is
love this. This is a
Yes.
graphic novel. So perfect example.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to open it, you can see.
Oh, they look just like this, don't they?
Yep.
They do.
And they all love them. And that's my little girls love. These are like younger age graphic novels. Another great book about kindness. I mean, I could talk about this subject.
Tierney, I want you back like regularly to
I think so.
I'm
And to bring us like
inspired.
the new like books of the season or
Yes.
whatever.
Let's have you back like right before school. So for summer, what would be a tip or two that you would tell a parent?
Okay, so I would say find books that they enjoy. Find ways to make it fun and not a chore, whether that's reading outside, have them come sit next to you when you read, listen to an audiobook in the car, some way to make it new. Read with a snack, something. And my third one would be to find a way to be involved in the reading with them. So
Yes.
reading a book all together, listening to an audiobook,
Yes.
doing a read aloud. Your kids are never too old for read alouds. Be involved because then you're showing you care about their world.
And one thing I do like when I give even like a 1-year-old grandchild, I think, what are their parents' interests? Because you have to read a book again and again.
Right.
And again.
Yes.
So my daughter-in-law loves science and like NASA and the stars. And so if I find books on astrology, I'm like, yep, that's what the kids are getting because mom's going to love reading it.
Right. She won't get bored
Right.
and tired of that
Something
one.
like,
That's a great idea.
And it should be fun for us as parents
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
we
should
shouldn't
come
be
back.
suffering.
You should come
Thank
back for
you.
sure.
Yes,
Thank
we
you
love you.
so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
There's more studio chatter coming up.